So, I'm on Lake Delta today. Day 3 of big water, mostly bass fishing, out of 6 days. Started the first day on North Lake, up an inlet in the Adirondacks. Yesterday I did Oneida Lake. Today I am on Lake Delta. All because of this kayak. So the deal is that I always avoided lakes. Because who likes to paddle a canoe across the big lake? Some people do. I am not one. Maybe when I was younger. Not anymore. So I avoided them. I love fishing small streams up north for brook trout. I love fishing the creek behind the house for smallmouth. I love fishing rivers. I love walking and wading and hiking. It's great. But there's this huge expanse of water that you miss, that you miss out on. I mean, just look at all this. This is what buying this kayak was all about. I am doing stuff that I didn't do before, that I didn't want to do before, had no motivation to do. It was actually the opposite of motivation. I was like, you know, it'd be cool to go out and fish on Delta, on the deep end by the dam, but it takes too much work to get out there in a canoe. Well, not anymore. Yesterday I tested this thing out on Oneida Lake. If anybody knows Oneida Lake, it's 60 square miles of water. It's huge, but its average depth is about 25 feet from what my cousin tells me. Thanks, John, for the info. It gets a little deeper, but a lot of it is very shallow. That's the average depth. It's a very flat bottom, shallow lake, huge. When you see black clouds, it's too late. You're gonna be lucky to get off that lake. It's a lake that gets so rough and so white-capped in the snap of a finger that there is actually someone mapping out all the sunken boats and shipwrecks on the bottom of this lake. How's that? So I took this there yesterday because I knew eventually there'd be some waves. There were in the afternoon. I just nosed into them. I never once felt unsafe out there. Don't get me wrong, they weren't surfing conditions, but it was choppy. And this is a sit-on kayak, not a sit-in. A lot of people think they're not as stable. This was great. Never a worry. So today I'm doing something that I've never done. I thought about it if I had a couple of days. Lake Delta is a fairly long lake if you're paddling. I put in at the beginning of the lake where the Mohawk feeds it, and I'm going all the way to the dam. And I'm gonna fish on the opposite end of where I came in. It's not something that was even possible before I got this. That is what this Hobie's all about. So coming in, super skinny water in the river. You can do one of two things. You can pull these levers and just take this out. You see how much is sticking below the boat, or that's all it takes to take these in and out. Or you can do this. Now those fins are flat against the bottom of the boat. Plenty of clearance. So I was in like 8 inches of water and still moving on the way in here. Comes in handy. I mean, yeah, these Hobies are kind of that whole Hobie born and bred in the ocean thing. I get that. But they're not just for big water. You could leave the pedals at home if you want and use this as a normal kayak. It came with kayak paddles, you know, double-ended kayak paddle. But I've been leaving that at home, and I got this single canoe paddle. Takes up less space until I get a fly rod holder for this thing. I have not got yet. I use where you would put the kayak paddle to hold the fly rod. So instead of having the kayak paddle broken down on the back of this thing, I just leave it at home and I bring a canoe paddle for what very little that I use it. I got my big net and I hung a remove before flight tag that I acquired 20 something years ago in the Air Force, because it's good to be visible when you got boats like that out here cruising around and jet skis and all that. I thought that was a good idea. But other than that, I have put some serious miles on this kayak in 3 days so far, and I got 3 more to go. Tomorrow I may not. Tomorrow I may be walking, or I may use this part of the way and then walk part of the way. But today I am crossing Delta Lake on foot. You got it. On foot. How cool is that? Crossing the lake on foot. I think it's pretty awesome. I did not bring my cooler. My cooler would sit back there. I'm planning on hitting the other side fishing and going right back. And then hitting another place before I go home today. Otherwise, I'd have a cooler back there with some drinks and some food. I'll be off the lake before lunchtime, I'm hoping. I came out early enough. All right, so that is the deal. This is where I'm at. This is what I think of this kayak. This Hobie Mirage Compass is absolutely awesome. And I had to get it on the water and do kind of a review of it. I've had it long enough now. I know what I wanted to say. I know what I like about it. So, till the next video, buy my books on Amazon.com, Reflections of a Fly Rod and Carper Jerks. Subscribe to this channel because the videos are going to get better. As soon as I come up with a GoPro and a mount eventually, then you'll actually see some fishing going on. And all my philosophies on life.